Spider-Man and Five Nights at Freddy's vs the Aliens 2, Early Access. In the Dimension X. KRANG SUBPRINE said. Those blasted turtles defeated us too many times. KRANG said. KRANG knows about mutants that they called themselves the turtles will be destroyed by KRANG and KRANG will get. KRANG SUBPRINE interrupted KRANG. Oh, just shut up already. KRANG said. KRANG SUBPRINE, KRANG was scanning for the turtles, but instead KRANG found the superhero as known as Spider-Man and the Fazbear family destroyed as known as the Alien Mothership. KRANG SUBPRINE said. Oh, Spider-Man and the Fazbear family, huh? Let's put on the human disguises and spy on them. Where do they live? KRANG said. The superhero as known as Spider-Man and the Fazbear family lives in a building as known as Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. KRANG SUBPRINE said. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, huh? KRANG, next stop, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. At the pizzeria on stage. Bonnie said. It has been a while since Earth has been invaded. Freddy said. Yeah, Bonnie, but, thank you Spider-Man, for letting us to come with you to stop the aliens from invading Earth. Spider-Man said. No problem, Freddy. Spider-Man hangs upside down on web. Bonnie looks at Spider-Man hanging upside down on web. Bonnie said. Spider-Man, is hanging upside down on a web is safe? Spider-Man said. No, but I really hang on the web then that way I won't fall on my head. Bonnie said. Okay then? Bonnie said in mind. I guess. In back room. Golden Freddy said. So, thank goodness that we stopped the aliens invading Earth or else we will be living on an alien planet by now. Puppet said. Yeah. The KRANG walks in pizzeria. Freddy walks to KRANG and said. Hi, welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. KRANG said. KRANG wants to go sit down. Freddy said. Okay, go ahead. Freddy walks to Foxy. Foxy said. Is it just me or does his language sound like that we don't even understand? Freddy said. I was thinking the same thing, Foxy. Spider-Man walks to Freddy and Foxy and said. He is not human, that is an alien language. Foxy said. An alien language? But we send the mothership to the sun, but how did the aliens survived? Spider-Man said. No, Foxy, not those aliens. They are the KRANG. Foxy said. Spider-Man, can I ask you a question? Spider-Man said. Sure, what is your question, Foxy? Foxy said. Who are the KRANG? Spider-Man said. The KRANG are aliens from Dimension X, but their leader is KRANG SUBPRINE, but billions of years ago, the KRANG and the Triceratops were fighting over the Dimension X, then the KRANG wanted a backdoor of the Dimension X. The KRANG was searching for a planet to mutate, and the only way they can do that is to use mutagen to reach their goal. But they finally found Earth, they found Earth billions of years ago. Foxy said. Whoa, that is bad. Bonnie said. Yeah. Freddy, Bonnie, and Foxy looks at KRANG and Freddy, Foxy and Bonnie looks back at Spider-Man. Foxy said. So, what do we do? Spider-Man said. Let's pretend that we all are having a good time. Foxy said. What? How is pretending gonna work? It's not going to fool him. Freddy said. Oh, stop complaining and follow Spider-Man's orders. Foxy said in mind. Oh, whatever, Freddy. KRANG walks to chair and sits on chair. Puppet peeks of backroom door and spies on KRANG. KRANG listens to everyone. Spider-Man's spider sense starts ringing. Spider-Man said in mind. Spider sense, someone is listening to us, and that someone must be the KRANG. Spider-Man said. Freddy, Bonnie, and Foxy, come to me to the office. Bonnie said. Okay. Foxy said. Okay matey. Freddy said. Okay Spider-Man. Spider-Man walks to office and Freddy and Bonnie and Foxy follows Spider-Man to office. Spider-Man closes both doors. Bonnie said. Okay, we are in the office, what are we doing in the office? Spider-Man said. If my spider sense starts to ring, then that means someone is listening to us, and that someone is the KRANG in your home. Bonnie said. Wow, your spider sense is pretty useful. Spider-Man said. I know right. Freddy said. But how did this KRANG know where we live? Spider-Man said. Maybe KRANG SUBPRINE ordered this KRANG to spy, and listen to our plans. Foxy said. Whoa, that is a lot of take it. Bonnie said. But, can we destroy this KRANG? Spider-Man said. Yes we can, but leave it to the pros. Foxy said. Pros? What pros? Spider-Man said. Me. Foxy said. You and? Spider-Man said. What do you mean and? Foxy said. You said leave it to the pros, pros means more than one, pro is one. Spider-Man said. Okay, let's start over. Starting over. Bonnie said. Can we destroy this KRANG? Spider-Man said. We can, but leave it to the pro. Foxy said. You. Are you going to destroy the KRANG? Spider-Man said. Yes, I will be right back after I deal with this KRANG. Bonnie, can you close the door after I leave the office? Bonnie said. Sure Spider-Man. Spider-Man opens office door and leaves office. Bonnie closes office door. Spider-Man climbs on wall and climbs on ceiling to dining area and climbs up above KRANG. Spider-Man drops down on KRANG and destroys KRANG. KRANG brain gets out of KRANG body and crawls to exit and leaves pizzeria. Spider-Man walks back to office and knocks on office door. Bonnie opens office door. Spider-Man said. Okay guys, I destroyed the KRANG. Foxy said. Okay good. Spider-Man walks back to dining area and Freddy and Bonnie and Foxy follows Spider-Man to dining area. In Dimension X. KRANG SUBPRINE watches screen and gets very angry. KRANG said. KRANG SUBPRIME, the superhero as known as Spider-Man has something in his brain as known as spider sense. KRANG SUBPRIME said. Spider sense huh? What has spider sense does? KRANG said. The thing has known as spider sense lets the superhero as known as Spider-Man know about danger, let him know about the thing as known as someone is as known as watching and as known as spying on as known as them. KRANG SUBPRIME said. So we can't spy on them because Spider-Man's spider sense. KRANG said. The thing as known as correct. KRANG SUBPRIME said. So if we get rid of Spider-Man's spider sense, then we can be able to spy on them. KRANG said. The thing as known as only is to as known as get rid of as known as his powers as known as then his as known as spider sense won't as known as warn him. KRANG SUBPRIME said. So, if we get rid of his powers, then his spider sense won't warn him about us spying and listening to their plans. At the pizzeria. Freddy said. Thanks Spider-Man for destroying the KRANG. Spider-Man said. Actually I did not destroy all the KRANG, the rest of them are in the Dimension X. Puppet and Golden Freddy teleports to Freddy and Bonnie and Foxy and Spider-Man. Puppet said. Spider-Man, do you mind if I can take a little bit of your DNA just to test it? Spider-Man said. Sure, as long you don't take my powers away. I was not born with spider powers, I was born with no powers of any kind. I got bitten by a radioactive spider and it gave me spider powers. Foxy said. Radioactive spider? Did humans experiment on a spider by testing some kind of ray? Spider-Man said. Yes, scientist was testing a ray and something in the ray was the radioactive in it, then they put a spider in front of the ray then activated the ray on the spider then the spider walked away from the ray and went to me and climbed on me and bit me right on my hand. Foxy said. Whoa, that was crazy. Freddy said. Yeah. Puppet said. And speaking of a radioactive spider, let's go in the back room and get a little bit your DNA. Spider-Man said. Okay Puppet. Spider-Man and Puppet and Golden Freddy walks to back room. Golden Freddy opens back room door. Spider-Man walks in back room. Golden Freddy follows Spider-Man in back room. Puppet closes back room door. Puppet teleports needle in hand. Puppet said. Are you ready Spider-Man? Spider-Man said. Yes. Puppet said. I am only going to take a sample of your blood because I know your DNA is in your blood. Spider-Man said. Wow, you're smart, how are you this smart? Puppet said. I was killed by an evil man. Spider-Man said. An evil man? What evil man? Puppet looks at Spider-Man and said. William Afton. Spider-Man said. Wow. Outside the pizzeria. KRANG SUBPRINE said. Okay, I am in front of Freddy Fazbear's pizzeria. KRANG SUBPRINE grabs no power device and said. I have this no power device, this device can take away any superhero's powers. KRANG puts lever and robot that looks like a girl closes and hides KRANG SUBPRINE. KRANG SUBPRINE walks in pizzeria. Freddy hears door open. Freddy gets up and walks to KRANG SUBPRINE. Freddy said. Hello there Mrs. KRANG SUBPRINE said. Olivia. Freddy said. Alright Olivia, welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where factory comes to life, where fantasy meets fun. My name is Freddy Fazbear. So you can sit down and order something to eat? KRANG SUBPRINE said. Okay. In back room. Puppet puts needle in Spider-Man's arm and takes a sample of Spider-Man's blood. Puppet takes needle out of Spider-Man's arm. Puppet said. Okay Spider-Man, I got the sample of your blood, now you can go. Spider-Man said. Okay. Spider-Man opens back room door and walks in dining area. Freddy walks in kitchen and closes kitchen door. KRANG SUBPRINE looks at Spider-Man. KRANG SUBPRINE said in mind. Good, my plan is working. KRANG SUBPRINE walks to Spider-Man and said. Hello there, who are you? Spider-Man said. I am Spider-Man, what about you? KRANG SUBPRINE said. My name is Olivia. Spider-Man said. Nice to meet you Olivia. KRANG SUBPRINE was about to grab no power device. Spider-Man's spider sense starts ringing. Spider-Man said. Uh-oh. KRANG SUBPRIME grabs no power device and shoots Spider-Man with it and took his powers away. Spider-Man falls on floor. Spider-Man said, My powers, they're gone. KRANG SUBPRIME pushes lever and robot opens up and said, Ha! Spider-Man said, KRANG SUBPRIME? Are you here to mutate our planet? KRANG SUBPRIME said, Yes we are. KRANG SUBPRIME grabs Spider-Man by the neck and said, Now listen Spider-Man, if you get in my way, then I will kill you. KRANG SUBPRIME throws Spider-Man at wall and Spider-Man goes flying and hits wall and falls on floor. KRANG SUBPRIME walks out of pizzeria and flies back to Dimension X. At Dimension X, KRANG SUBPRIME flies back to KRANG headquarters. KRANG SUBPRIME said, Okay my fellow KRANG, Spider-Man does not have his powers anymore, and we will be able to invade Earth without Spider-Man stopping us. All KRANG said, KRANG, 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 KRANG. Back at the pizzeria, Freddy opens kitchen door and walks with pizza and said, Okay Olivia, I have your pizza right. Freddy looks around for KRANG SUBPRIME but there is no sign on him anywhere. Freddy said, Here. Freddy walks to back to table and puts pizza on table and walks to back room and knocks on door. Golden Freddy opens door and said, Yes Freddy. Freddy said, Where is Olivia? Golden Freddy said, Olivia. Who is Olivia? Freddy said, We had a human girl customer named Olivia. So, let me ask you for one last time Golden Freddy, where is Olivia? Golden Freddy said, I don't know where she is, maybe she took off. Freddy's ears goes down and said, Okay, maybe she changed her mind about having pizza. Puppet said, Olivia huh? Golden Freddy said, Yeah, we had a human girl customer in the pizzeria but maybe she changed her mind about having our pizza. Puppet said, I'm not sure if Olivia is a real person Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy said, What? But Freddy said that she was here. Puppet said, Yeah, but, there is no one in our city named Olivia. Golden Freddy said, What? What do you mean? Puppet said, Last time our city has a baby girl named Olivia, that was back in 1992, then she died in 2001, and this year it's 2021, so there was only one little baby girl named Olivia in our city, then that little girl was born in 1992 and died in 2001, and that was 29 years ago one that got born. Golden Freddy said, Wait, so, that human girl wasn't a human at all? Puppet said, Yeah, it might be KRANG SUBPRIME pretending to be that little girl that was 20 years ago. Golden Freddy said, Oh. Freddy looks at Spider-Man on floor and Freddy runs to Spider-Man. Freddy said, Spider-Man, are you alright? Spider-Man said, No, that girl named. Freddy said, Named what? Spider-Man said, Named Olivia, wasn't human. Freddy said, Oh no. Golden Freddy and Puppet teleports to Freddy and Spider-Man. Puppet said, Freddy, Olivia, that you told us earlier wasn't human. Freddy said, So, if Olivia wasn't human, then who is she anyways? Golden Freddy said, Olivia was born 29 years ago, and she died 20 years ago, so KRANG SUBPRIME might be pretending to be the girl named Olivia. Freddy said, Oh no. In the restroom. Bonnie laughs. Bonnie said, I love you. Toy Chica laughs back. Toy Chica said, no, I love you more. Bonnie said, oh no no no, I love you more than you probably imagine. Toy Chica. Foxy walks in restroom and saw Bonnie and Toy Chica and stopped walking, and Foxy opens his mouth wide and Foxy's eyes got wide open. Bonnie and Toy Chica looks at Foxy. Bonnie and Toy Chica said, Foxy. Bonnie and Toy Chica stops hugging each other. Bonnie said, Foxy. Foxy's mouth closes and Foxy's eyelids goes a little closed. Foxy said, what are you two doing in here? Bonnie and Toy Chica said, nothing. Foxy said, nothing, huh? I don't believe that. I saw you two doing what lovebirds do, so I want you two to please stop doing that. It's weird. Bonnie said, Foxy, didn't you forget that you gave your leadership to Freddy before we send the alien mothership to the sun? Foxy said, oh, I forgot, thanks for reminding me. Bonnie said, you're welcome. At courthouse. Police said, Judy, I was scanning for bad guys, but instead we found kind of ship and it is not human, it's a non-human ship coming to our planet. Judy said, oh no, is it an alien mothership? Police said, no, it's a different non-human ship, and they are going to invade Earth and turn it to some kind of alien planet. Judy said, oh no, then use all your firepower to stop this non-human ship from invading Earth, we can't let them to take our planet from us. Police said, yes ma'am. Police walks out of courthouse. At the pizzeria. Freddy and Foxy watches the news. The newsman said, this breaking news, we have a non-human ship is here on planet Earth to invade Earth and turn it to some kind of an alien planet. Foxy said, wow, it's not the alien this time, this might be the KRANG invading Earth. Freddy. Freddy said, yeah, but Spider-Man is useless without his powers. Freddy and Foxy looks at Spider-Man. Foxy said, yeah, I see your point, Freddy. Freddy and Foxy stops looking at Spider-Man. Foxy said, so, what do we do to get Spider-Man's powers back? Freddy thinks. Freddy said, Freddy gets an idea. Freddy said, wait, I got an idea. Foxy said, what is your idea, Freddy? Freddy said, well, my idea, Foxy, is to get the needle and put it back into Spider-Man's arm, then it might give him his powers back. Foxy said, needle? Powers? What are you talking about, Freddy? Did you get hit into head or something? Freddy said, no, Foxy, I did not get hit into the head. Puppet and Golden Freddy got Spider-Man's blood in the needle. Foxy said, why did they do that? Freddy said, because Puppet knows that the DNA is in Spider-Man's blood, and you were there too, Foxy. Foxy said, oh yeah, I forgot. Freddy and Foxy walks to back room. Freddy said, now listen, Foxy, let's not mess it up or Spider-Man will never get his powers back. Foxy said, okay Freddy, let's do it. Freddy walks back room door and Freddy and Foxy walks in back room. Freddy grabs needle. Foxy said, is Spider-Man's power really in his blood? Freddy said, yes Foxy, his powers are in his blood. Foxy said, okay. Freddy and Foxy walks out of back room. Freddy and Foxy walks to Spider-Man. Freddy said, "Hey Spider-Man, here is this needle that has your blood and your powers in it." Spider-Man said, "Wait, what? But Puppet and Golden Freddy will test it?" Golden Freddy and Puppet hears Spider-Man. Golden Freddy and Puppet teleports to Freddy and Foxy and Spider-Man. Puppet said, "What do you think you are doing, Freddy? Me and Golden Freddy will test Spider-Man's blood." Freddy said, Dude, I am going to put it back in Spider-Man's body, it is the only way to stop KRANG SUBPRIME." Golden Freddy said, Freddy is right, Puppet, putting his blood with his powers back in his body is the only way to stop KRANG SUBPRIME and the other KRANG." Puppet thinks. Puppet said, Fine, but, if we do this, then we will find the radioactive spider and the ray and put the radioactive spider in the ray and shoot at you, Spider-Man, and get your powers back, then I will get your blood with your powers in the needle again and me and Golden Freddy will test it when we get it in the needle, got it you three? Spider-Man said. Okay, Puppet. Foxy said. Okay. Freddy said. K. Puppet said. Freddy, give me the needle, so I can put Spider-Man's blood back in his body. Freddy said. Are you telling the truth? Puppet said. Yes, I am telling the truth, remember what I said to Bonnie, I never lie. Freddy said. Okay. Freddy gives Puppet the needle. Puppet said. Thanks, Freddy. Freddy said. You're welcome, Puppet. Puppet said. Are you ready to get your powers back, Spider-Man? Spider-Man said. Yes, I am. Puppet puts needle in Spider-Man's arm and puts Spider-Man's blood and his powers and DNA in Spider-Man's arm. Spider-Man's powers took 25 minutes to come back. 25 minutes later. Spider-Man's powers comes back. Puppet said. Try it now, Spider-Man. Spider-Man jumps up on ceiling and sticks on ceiling. Spider-Man said. I got my powers back, thanks you, Puppet and Golden Freddy and Freddy. Puppet said. Yeah, whatever. Golden Freddy said. You're welcome. Freddy said. What Golden Freddy said? Bonnie and Toy Chica walks out of restroom and walks to Freddy and Golden Freddy and Foxy. Bonnie said. What's going on? Spider-Man said. I lost my powers because of that girl named Olivia. Bonnie said. Olivia? Who is Olivia? Puppet said. Olivia is a little girl that was born 29 years ago and died 20 years ago. Bonnie and Toy Chica said. Oh. Bonnie said. If Olivia was born on 1992 and died on 2001, then how did Olivia walk into our pizzeria and took Spider-Man's powers away? Toy Chica said. Yeah, I agree with Bonnie, if Olivia died on 2001, then someone disguised as Olivia. Puppet said. Yeah, like KRANG SUBPRIME. Bonnie said. KRANG SUBPRIME, who is KRANG SUBPRIME? Spider-Man said. Great, I have to explain who the KRANG again, great. Puppet explains everything about the KRANG to Bonnie and Toy Chica. Bonnie said. Oh my god, so KRANG SUBPRIME is here at planet Earth to mutate Earth to turn it into another dimension X? Spider-Man said. Oh. Toy Chica said. That is bad, right, Bonnie? Bonnie said. Yes, it is bad, it sounds like that we have to go in the dimension X and stop them from doing that. Foxy said. Yeah. Spider-Man said. Yeah, there is only one problem. Toy Chica said. And that is? Spider-Man said. There is Krang air in the Dimension X and I can't breathe the Krang air, so you animatronics does not need to breathe, so you animatronics are lucky. Foxy said. Yeah, we animatronics does not need to breathe is true. Spider-Man grabs breathe device and said. But don't worry, I have this device makes me breathe human air instead of Krang air. So I am going to install the breathe device into my Spider-Man mask, but I will do it in the office because I don't want any of you animatronics to know my secret identity. Foxy said. Okay Spider-Man, go ahead. Spider-Man walks to office and walks in office and closes both office doors. Spider-Man takes mask off and install breathe device into Spider-Man mask and Spider-Man puts his mask back on. Spider-Man opens both office doors and walks back out to dining area and said. Okay, I installed the breathe device into my mask, so let's do the Dimension X. Bonnie said. Okay. Toy Chica said. I only have one question, how can we go to the Dimension X? Spider-Man said. By using this. Spider-Man shows Krang portal. Toy Chica said. What is that? Spider-Man said. It's a Krang portal. Toy Chica said. I'm not sure if that is a portal. Spider-Man said. Trust me Toy Chica, it is a portal alright. Spider-Man activate Krang portal and Spider-Man drops it and falls on floor then Krang pearl goes in air and Krang portal opens. Spider-Man press button to activates breathe device and breathe device turns on. Spider-Man said. Okay, let's go. Foxy said. One we stop the Krang, then how are we get back home? Spider-Man said. I am taking another Krang portal to take us back home. Foxy said. Oh. Cool. Spider-Man and Freddy and his friends walks in Krang portal and Krang portal closes and falls on floor. In Dimension X. Krang portal opens in Dimension X. Spider-Man and Freddy and his friends walks out of Krang portal and Krang portal closes. Foxy looks around and mouth wide and said. Oh my booty. Is this really the Dimension X? Spider-Man said. Yes Foxy, this is the Dimension X. So, welcome to the Dimension X. Toy Chica said. Oh my man. Bonnie and Toy Chica at Giant Eye in sky and flying pirate ship flies in front of Giant Eye and Giant Eye lasers pirate ship and pirate ship blows up. Bonnie said. Are you sure that the Dimension X is safe Spider-Man? Spider-Man said. No, but the Dimension X is where the Krang come from. Freddy said. So, did you guys packed up any gear before we entered the Dimension X? Bonnie said. No because you did not say about packing up any gear Freddy. Freddy said. Oh damn. Spider-Man said. Let's go to Krang headquarters gang. Freddy said. Okay Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Freddy and his friends runs. Spider-Man said. Let's jump off and it will take us to the island. Foxy said. Wait what? Jump off the island? Are you crazy Spider-Man? Did you got run into the head? Spider-Man said. No I did not hit my head Foxy, I know the Dimension X. Freddy said. Just listen to Spider-Man Foxy, he got us this far, and we couldn't made it this far on our own. Foxy said. Yeah, that is true Freddy, alright, I trust Spider-Man. Freddy said. Good Foxy. Spider-Man and Freddy and his friends jumps off the island and flies in sky and become to the bottom of the air, and Spider-Man and Freddy and his friends flies in air and lands on another island. Foxy said. That was scary. Freddy said. See, Foxy? There is nothing to be scared about. Bonnie said. Did I just heard you about that was scary, Foxy? Foxy said. What? Oh no, Bonnie, I am not scared of anything in my life. Foxy grabs coffee and drinks it. Bonnie's goes ears down and Bonnie's mouth opens wide and looks at Foxy drinking coffee. Foxy said. What? Bonnie said. How did you get coffee in the Dimension X, Foxy? Foxy throws coffee off the island and comes from the sky and falls and hits Foxy right on his head. Foxy said. Ow. Bonnie laughs at Foxy. Bonnie said. Ha 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 ha, remember Foxy, if you throw items off the island, it teleports in the sky and falls back on the island. Ha 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 ha. Foxy yells at Bonnie saying. Stop laughing at me, Bonnie. Spider-Man and Freddy and his friends hears Foxy yelling. Spider-Man said. Stop yelling, Foxy. Freddy said. Calm down, Foxy. What happened? Foxy said. Bonnie laughed at me for getting an item hitting my head. Freddy said. Okay, Bonnie, stop laughing at people. Bonnie said. What? Freddy, I never laughed at people in my life. Freddy said. That is not true. 2 years ago, I saw you laughing at humans when they fall on the floor. That is not nice. Bonnie said. Oh, I forgot about that. Freddy said. It's okay of getting in trouble, Bonnie, everyone gets in trouble, even humans, and not just humans. Us animatronics gets in trouble all the time from killing night guards, and we never get in trouble or go to jail from killing because we live in a pizzeria and we are animatronics, and cops never knows about us animatronics are alive. Bonnie said. Wow, if we get in trouble all the time from killing night guards and never get in trouble or go to jail from killing because we are animatronics, then I want to stay as an animatronic forever. Freddy said. That's right, Bonnie. Now, let's stop the KRANG from mutating the Earth, then we can all go back to Earth and go in the pizzeria, and you and Toy Chica can go do whatever lovebirds do in the restroom, okay? Bonnie said. Okay. Foxy's ears goes down and mouth opens wide. Bonnie walks to Toy Chica and holds her hand. Toy Chica looks at hand. Toy Chica starts blushes. Bonnie said. I love you. Freddy interrupted Bonnie. No, I did not meant in the Dimension X. Bonnie said. Oh, sorry, Freddy. Bonnie does a embarrassed face. Foxy looks at KRANG headquarters and said. Oh my booty. Spider-Man said. Foxy, can you stop saying booty in your sentence? Foxy said. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Spider-Man said. Anyway, let's go in the KRANG headquarters and stop KRANG SUBPRINE plans, then escape the Dimension X, then we can finally live peaceful life. Freddy said. Great plan. Puppet said. Let's go. Spider-Man said. Excuse me, Puppet, I am the leader of this important mission, thank you very much. Puppet said. Okay, Spider-Man, if you are the best leader, then lead us the way. Spider-Man said. Okay, thanks. Golden Freddy said. Say it now, Puppet, before we go in the KRANG headquarters. Puppet said. Fine, you're welcome. Bonnie said. You said it, Puppet, haha. Puppet said. Yeah, whatever, Spider-Man, lead us. Spider-Man said. I am going to. Spider-Man and Freddy and his friends walks in headquarters. All the KRANG and KRANG SUBPRINE looks at Spider-Man. KRANG SUBPRINE said. Spider-Man. I thought I took your powers away. Spider-Man said. You did, but Golden Freddy and Puppet took my DNA and powers back in my body. KRANG SUBPRINE said. What? How is that possible? Puppet teleports a needle that has a little bit of Spider-Man's blood in needle in hand. KRANG SUBPRINE said. Damn you, Puppet. Puppet said. I am way more smarter than you, KRANG SUBPRINE. KRANG SUBPRINE said. No, you're not. What is 100 plus 100? Puppet said. 100 plus 100 is 200. KRANG SUBPRINE said. Impossible. Puppet said. See, KRANG SUBPRINE? I am way more smarter than you. And I am smart enough to stop your evil plans of mutant our planet. KRANG SUBPRINE said. Let's see about that. KRANG SUBPRINE yells. KRANG attack. KRANG shoots non-human weapons at Foxy and Foxy tries to dodge but got hit and falls on floor. Foxy said. Oh damn it. KRANG shoots at Spider-Man with non-human weapon and Spider-Man dodges it and knocks and destroys KRANG. KRANG brain gets out of body and runs away. Foxy runs to KRANG and destroys KRANG with hook and KRANG brain gets out of KRANG body and runs away. Foxy gets his hook out of KRANG body and said. There is like 100 KRANG droids and every time we destroy them, they keep building more of them. Puppet said. Yes Foxy, that is correct, and wow, didn't really think that Foxy is getting smarter than me. Golden Freddy said. Yeah. KRANG runs and jumps on Toy Chica and tries to destroys her. Toy Chica yells. Bonnie. Help me. Bonnie hears Toy Chica and turns around and saw KRANG tries to destroy her. Bonnie walks to Toy Chica and KRANG and said. Oh, get off her, you stupid KRANG. Bonnie grabs KRANG and destroys KRANG. Toy Chica said. Thanks honey for saving my life. Bonnie helps Toy Chica up and said. No problem Toy Chica. Remember what I said back at the pizzeria before me and you and Freddy and the gang helped Spider-Man to send the alien mothership to the sun? I will always protect you, and I promised that, and I am keeping that promise. I love you so much, and if you get killed by anyone like the KRANG, then I will be all alone and I will cry and I will kill myself if you get killed by the KRANG or anyone. Freddy hears Bonnie saying that. Freddy walks to Bonnie and said. Bonnie, I am not letting you to kill yourself, because we need you to play your guitar to entertain the kids at our pizzeria or they will a replacement to replace you or shut our pizzeria down, build another pizzeria. Do you want our pizzeria to shut down? Bonnie said. No. Freddy said. Then don't kill yourself, and I will help Golden Freddy and Puppet to rebuild Toy Chica for you, because I know that you love her so much. Bonnie said. You will rebuild Toy Chica if she gets killed by KRANG Freddy? Freddy said. Yes. Bonnie said. You promise? Freddy said. I promise, for you Bonnie, because I want to see you happy, and you seeing Toy Chica, is the only way to make you happy, so I am doing it that way. Bonnie hugs Freddy and said. Thanks Freddy, you are the most best friend that I ever had. Freddy pats Bonnie on the back and said. No problem Bonnie. Spider-Man said. Freddy, Bonnie, this is not Hug Fest, can you guys help me destroy all the KRANG? Foxy said. Yeah, Freddy and Bonnie, you and Bonnie are starting a hug fest while me, Spider-Man, Golden Freddy, Puppet, Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Mangle, Balloon Boy, and Balloon Girl fighting the KRANG. Freddy said. Oh, sorry, I forgot that we were destroying the KRANG. Foxy said. Well, me and Spider-Man reminded you and Bonnie and Toy Chica about it. 5 hours of Spider-Man and Freddy and the gang fighting the KRANG. Spider-Man said. There are too many of them, Puppet, can you hack the KRANG computer and close all of the KRANG portals except one KRANG portal that takes you animatronics in front of your pizzeria? Puppet said. Sure. Puppet teleports to KRANG computer and Puppet uses powers to hack into KRANG computer and closes all KRANG portal but one KRANG portal. Spider-Man said. Now go. Foxy said. But Spider-Man, we cannot leave without you. Spider-Man said. I will be fine. Now go. Freddy said. Foxy, listen, we need to leave the Dimension X or we will be captured. Toy Freddy said. I am leaving the Dimension X, I don't want to get captured. Toy Bonnie said. Me neither. Toy Freddy and Toy Bonnie and Mangle and Balloon Boy and Balloon Girl and Bonnie and Toy Chica walks in KRANG portal. Puppet said. I will go thought the KRANG portal and wait for you guys, okay. Golden Freddy said. Okay Puppet. Puppet floats in KRANG portal. Freddy said. Come on Foxy, Spider-Man will be fine fighting alone, he is just buying us time to escape. Foxy looks at Spider-Man. KRANG finally captures Spider-Man. Foxy said. Okay, let's go home. Golden Freddy and Foxy walks in KRANG portal and KRANG portal closes. KRANG SUBPRINE said. No, they escaped, but no worry, I got you Spider-Man, he. In front of the pizzeria. Golden Freddy and Foxy walks out of KRANG portal and KRANG portal closes. Foxy puts hand in air and said. Spider-Man. Foxy puts his hand back down and closes his eyes. Bonnie walks to Foxy and puts his hand on Foxy's shoulder and said. Don't worry Foxy, Spider-Man will be fine like Freddy said, I got you buddy. Foxy opens his eyes and said. Did you just call me buddy? Bonnie said. Yes I did. Foxy said. Wow, that is the first time that you ever called me buddy. Bonnie said. Wow, it is. Freddy said. Come on guys, let's have another party in the pizzeria since we helped Spider-Man again with the KRANG. All animatronics said. Oh yeah. Freddy and his friends walks in pizzeria. In the pizzeria. 25 minutes later. On stage. Freddy and Chica hugs each other. Bonnie and Toy Chica spies on Freddy and Chica hugging each other. Freddy laughs. Freddy said. I love you. Chica said. No I love you more. Freddy said. Oh no Chica, I love you more than you probably imagine. Foxy looks at Freddy and Chica hugging each other. Foxy said. Well, great, just great, Freddy and Chica are doing what lovebirds do. In the restroom Bonnie and Toy Chica hugs each other. Foxy walks to restroom and spies on Bonnie and Toy Chica hugging each other. Foxy said in mind. Well, here we go again, Bonnie and Toy Chica are hugging each other again, what a surprise. At Pirate Cove. Foxy walks to Pirate Cove and get on Pirate Cove and sits in chair and turns on computer. Foxy clicks on Minecraft and Foxy walks around on island on Minecraft. Foxy saw Herobrine in Minecraft. Foxy said. Wait, who is that? Herobrine just stands there watching. Foxy screenshots Herobrine. Foxy goes to Google search and reads about Herobrine. Foxy said. Oh my god, so Herobrine can come out of people's computers if you first see him, close out Minecraft or else he will enter your world and kill everyone on Earth. Oh my god, that is bad. Herobrine walks in front of Foxy's Minecraft character while Foxy is reading about Herobrine on Google search. The end. Tip: Five Nights at Freddy's vs Herobrine is coming soon. In Five Nights at Freddy's vs Herobrine will be about Herobrine coming out of Foxy's computer while Foxy is on his phone reading about Herobrine on Google search, but Spider-Man and Five Nights at Freddy's vs the Aliens 3 will come next year after Five Nights at Freddy's vs Herobrine. Have fun with Spider-Man and Five Nights at Freddy's vs the Aliens 2, early access, everyone, and don't forget that school is coming for me. I hope you guys had a great summer this year.